What's up? Thank you for passing by. My name is Phil and I am from Mints and Drops. And today I had the chance, the pleasure to floss around an amazing conversation with no other than my bro, Ekem, and my other brother from another, the ruler. we had a blast. Of course, we've tackled many subjects going on from fraud, floor price, the header heat wave, what's the favorite projects at the moment, and enjoy. The ruler, Ekem. Thank you so much for passing by. Brothers, how are you doing?
My man, thank you for having us, man. This is an absolute honor, considering I've been watching all your episodes on YouTube. Finally get to be on one. Are you serious? Man, let's go. I'm excited.
The show is on. Heck, my guy, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. I am excited to be here. I'm a big fan. So I remember when I think you launched your first one and you were getting it up, and I was like, win next podcast. Win, and we would just spam you. Early days of Mints and Drops. It was so fun. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to having you both. We've been, chatting and DMing lots of time, and I'm really happy that we can make this happen. Listen, there's so much I want to talk to you about, guys. We will go through various arrays of subjects and all. Again, thank you just for taking the time. I wanted to have you guys feels and not emotions, but what's your take, on the current NFT markets right now? Well, much more focus on Hedera. How do you feel this whole thing is at right now, at the moment?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm used to Twitter Spaces, so I'm here like trying to find the love button, the like button, so I can give you guys feedback as you're talking.
Right.
No, I mean we all know it's a bear market. The sentiment is down. But if you look around in the Hedera space, there's no infighting. No one is going after each other's throat. Everybody's staying civil. Everybody's staying polite. The vibes are still good. If anything, I'm seeing a lot of projects just kind of slow down, take their times, and build instead of feeling rushed to come out and mint and just feel the pressure that we used to feel when it was the bull market, the Hedera heat wave. So again, the sentiment is down, but if you look at our community overall, everybody's staying strong and just taking the time to get to know each other and building better than ever, I personally think. And even the projects that now are minting are really strong projects that have been around for a little while, and they're minting out. I mean, Gangster's Paradise, you had Koala yesterday. That just shows you the strength. And sometimes I even ask myself, Hedera, do we even have a damn bear market? I don't even know.
It's absolutely crazy. And shout out to Koalas, shout out to Gangster's Paradise. Both sold out in crazy 2 minutes. And Gangster's Paradise going crazy in secondary too. Koala's been carrying it today too, man. I mean, shout out to Hedera Pixies also. We're dropping today. Ekem, I know you're a big follower of Koala inside the crew also.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm with the ruler on like the sentiment overall of like kind of the crypto space being down, but in Hedera it doesn't feel like it. It feels like the morale is often like really up. And I mean, I just remember the days of like where Zeus was doing like hardly any volume, and then Dead Pixels up, and then all the kind of the heat wave and everything that happened. So it's like it's been an exciting time, and I think we're kind of in this growth stage where everybody's building. I'm loving how many like cross-chain spaces are happening lately, because it seems like even during a bear market, people are coming over to HBAR, and they're seeing like, how cheap it is, and how they can mint an NFT project for like pennies versus ETH and like Solana and all these, and so we're getting like a bunch of people kind of coming over, where I think we were talking about it on Koala Space yesterday, that like we're all kind of trading between the small community back in like the exact days, and now we're starting to see more people on board and more wallets, and it's great to see. So I think it's like the state of the crypto market sucks. At the same time, it's exciting, in Hedera.
Yeah, and to touch upon that, he just said that perfectly because, for example, we did hit the bear market, and then Hangry came around, and everybody said 4,444. Are you kidding me? No way! But look at the traction he had, and a lot of people ask me, well, why do you keep rocking his PFP? Because it sort of became the currency of cross-chain spaces that Ekim just referred to, because
100%.
people saw that PFP, they recognized it, like, whoa, these guys really roll deep. There's something going on in this community. And these cross-chain spaces that we all engage and talk in, people recognize Hedera as a powerhouse that is just being slept on at the moment, especially when they open up a hashpack wallet, see how easy it is to use. I'm telling you, the people that came over to Hedera so far, they're unpacking their bags, and I don't see them leaving because they're genuinely impressed by what we have going on here.
Mm-hmm. Big shout out to Hbarbarians, of course, leading the way, like for amazing spaces. Every single time, you pop on, you see a cross-chain, cross-ecosystem, spaces happening. And he's dropped at the precise time where right after the Hedera heat wave. Of course, we'll talk about it later on, but right at the precise time, and 444, man, 4,444 is a huge supply, and it did so well. That was absolutely crazy. And yeah, that's leading on to the next subjects I wanted to talk to you about. How was this whole summer for you? Going on, leading on, like say to the end of May, absolutely craziness out of secondary, of course. Crazy prices point going on, of course, with dead pixels leading up. How did you all experience it?
For me, it was super exciting to just kind of see just the sheer volume. Like, we had never seen volume on Zeus like that before in the secondary sales, and like seeing people come over. So I think it was, it was a really exciting time. And then I think it was like, for me, it was kind of like I was a little bit protective of like the NFT space in a bit, like that like I feel like I was a part of like trying to like build, because we did have projects that were kind of coming in, and they were coming from cross chain, and they were like, well, we can mint on Hedera too, and it was just kind of this time of like, well, let's monitor this, let's be careful of like all these rugs and things that were happening. So it was like, it's kind of a mixed feeling for me, because it was like this time of like, wow, I'm being able to sell one of my dead pixels, ghost passes for this ridiculous, amount crazy at this point. So it was like, that was super exciting. And then on the other side, there was like, I kind of felt, we got to be really careful at this point, because it still feels like the ecosystem is really fragile. There's just like wanting people to have a good experience when they come over from cross chain or open a wallet. So it was mixed, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No, I have to agree 100%. Well, if you ask my hashback wallet, it did not like the Hedera heat wave. Every time I look, my balance just kept going down and down and down. If you ask my family, they're like, we hate this heat wave. Come back to us. We miss you. We miss you. You're spending so much time in these NFT spaces and buying so much. Like, relax. But at the same token, like he just said as well, there was that downside of having all of these projects come in, and we as a community I personally think we did a fantastic job of pinpointing the ones that were relaying themselves in a specific way, and being the bad actor, trying to take advantage of the situation that we were in. So as a community, we really went and did our due diligence in finding out what projects were about. Sure, did we get rugged a few times? Absolutely, but that just comes with the learning curve. And now we know what questions to ask, and we definitely grew from that whole experience. And it definitely brought more eyes onto the ecosystem as well, where more new users entered and ended up buying our NFTs versus us, like Kim was talking about earlier, just recycling the same user base over and over again. So it was a nice and much needed new entrance for newcomers.
I agree. And big shout out to you, man. I gotta say this on the mic, where every single time there's a space, you are there, man, and representing, just always bringing some great vibes. You got the info, you bringing out new people in. You're preaching the good preach, man, every single time, vouching for other projects, other people, always bring positivity, man. Shout out to you. You've been a tremendous actor throughout the autumn and leading on to right here, man, especially when we need it, right? Where most people feel down right now. And that sucks. It's not great, but at the same time, there's positive leaders like you who just come out and play and swing the bat, man, like no other. So shout out to you, man. The presence you're having right now is undefeated.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. But to be quite frank with you, it doesn't feel like it's anything different than what I do in real life. It's just how I am in real life as well. So going onto these spaces, I just love positivity. I like good vibes, and I like to represent the HBAR community because they truly deserve the best. And the more eyes we can get into here, the better it is. And a lot of these cross-chain spaces, the other side, like the Solana, ETH, whatever else Shane is, they're just so confused by our energy, by our good positivity. They're like, why aren't you guys bashing each other's projects? Why are you guys uniting and like shilling each other? Like, what is going on? What's wrong?
Why
with
do you love
people?
life so much?
Yeah. Why aren't you fighting each other? We're like, bro, that's not just how we are here. We're good people. We like to vibe and have a good time.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And yeah, at the same time, this was summer, and it's still like that, right? The vibes did not change, in an overall perspective for me. That was summer, that was autumn. How do you see, 2023 is coming up, in less than a month now, whether we want it or not. How do you see all of this, going on? Not too far away, not Q3, that's too far, right? But say like beginning of spring, Q1, Q2, how do you see that all unfolding for the H?
I feel optimistic, to be honest with you. We have developed our technology on the NFT side so much. I mean, you have HBAR Space and MRAC just delivering after week after week after week, just bringing in new utilities. You bring in new tools that we can explore. You have so many different launch pads now. Like our NFT ecosystem, by the time next year comes around, it's going to be ready for the mass adoption that I'm really hoping comes our way, because we've been here, we've been building patiently for a little while now. We just need that mass adoption to come and see what we've been seeing all along. So I feel extremely optimistic.
Mm-hmm. And Ekem, you guys have been launching on, speaking of Launchpad, on Hither Ascension this week, man. How was the whole thing?
You know what? It was actually really, really smooth. I actually I minted for the first time using Blade Wallet during that as well. Like I had I don't trust it completely, so I had my hash packs over here, and then I had my different browsers, and I had my Blade Wallet, and it was really smooth across it was really smooth across the board. Like I was actually really impressed with Blade Wallet, and I don't really have an allegiance at this point. So I mean, I remember since using Exact Wallet and all that stuff. So it's at this point, I just get so excited when I see something new that just gets built on Hedera, whether it be a marketplace, whether it's a wallet, whether it is, something in DeFi. It's just so exciting because it's it creates that healthy kind of competition and growth. And it's I want to see that. I want to see, Blade Wallet kind of come up and challenge Hashpack a little bit, because I think it'll be great for the space just in general. So it's
100%.
I'm so excited to see so much that's being built even during a bear market, because it's we have to be building. So it's that's what gives me a lot of hope in the just in the ecosystem, because we have so many people that even during a bear market where it's really hard, the money's not there and all this stuff, and they're still just on there grinding and building, and that's what we need.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like the Blade Wallet, that wasn't even on my radar, but I've been hearing you guys talk about it, and especially after last night's mint, how smooth and how fast it was. Now I downloaded one. I just have to set it up. I haven't had time, but it's just incredible how fast things are moving. A few days here feel like weeks, months sometimes, and it's just the development is extremely, extremely aggressive and fast.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't even I remember when we didn't even have a marketplace, when we were just all doing peer-to-peer. We didn't even have secure trade. We were just we had a hope and a prayer. You'd be like, okay, well, you're gonna send me this NFT, and I'm gonna send you these bars, and we're gonna hope it just, or you had the third party thing going on. It was wild. And I think that's the thing that's so crazy about HBAR is a lot of people that have been there for so long, everybody's so trusting of one another, and it's it's a good thing and a bad thing, because it's we have seen some people get scammed for things, and it's been like a real shame. But for the most part, it's like people have really good experiences, and it's like I see it on chains, you know, spaces all the time where people are like, no, give me the FUD. Like, you guys can't be nice to
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
Like this is like they're like,
Who got
no, this is all
bamboozled?
bullshit. This is all
Yeah.
bullshit. You have to like they're so skeptical of it because it doesn't
Yeah.
happen. And it's like we've seen it when like some other like chains have kind of come over, like people that are on Solana, they've come over and they've kind of had the Solana culture a little bit. And HBAR has been really protective of that HBAR culture. So it's like, you know, I'm really optimistic about 2023.
You've spoken about, you know, second trade and, you know, those transactions we used to have before, you know, with a third party. You helped me a couple of times back then, you know, back in February, which seems like 5 years ago. This brings me to a level of trust, right? That's part of the whole thing. It's at least, you know, a variable that you have to invest in while, you know, going inside a project. And that's my next topic I want to talk to you about is what you know, there's always this, you know, because NFTs and projects, you know, it's like magical. Sometimes, you know, you have this particle, you know, that makes you go, you know, you want to go full ham, you know, craziness, you know. What's this variable that you, the ruler, you, Ekim, that makes you go, you want to go ham, you know, inside a project, you know, that sparks the flame, the fire, and then you just want to ether everything and mint it all out and go in secondary, and you need it. It's not a want anymore.
Well, it used to be strictly for me art, but now we've reached a new era where it's just not enough anymore. Now you have to have some utility behind the art, and of course, unless it's one-on-ones. But even then, you have to know who's behind the project, who's running it, who's talking, how are they relaying themselves, what are their intentions. So you have to find this information out to your best ability. And Twitter Spaces, I have to go back to that, has been a complete game changer. Now, if you just open up a Discord, you have a nice product. It's not enough to mint out. You have to go out. You have to talk to the community. You have to let them hear who is behind that PFP, who's behind that username. They want to hear your voice and how you present the passion that you have for your project. So if I don't hear the person talk on Spaces as a project owner or as a project leader, I just don't feel comfortable. And before, at one point, I was just minting everything because the guy was nice in Discord or he was saying the nice things. And it's just, again, it's not enough just to mint based on the person if I don't hear them talk as well anymore. And of course, back to the utility part, if you're not providing any utility now, that's especially now that is unique and gives us something different that we can look forward to, I'm going to be a little bit cautious as well, because I'm going to be like, I've seen this happen before. I've seen that utility promise. Nothing really interesting. So projects do really have to step up and find a different way to entice the consumer to mint their NFT. And Twitter Spaces for me is number one at the particular moment. I have to hear you talk and see what's behind that.
A level of transparency, I guess. Yeah, or realness.
Absolutely.
I understand. Yeah. What about you, bro?
You know, this is an interesting one. It's hard to nail it down to one. Engagement, which is kind of what the ruler's talking about, is huge for me, whether it's like Spaces or whether it is you know, when you establish your Twitter, when you establish your Discord, like just engagement of the community. And I'm going to piggyback a little bit on what the ruler said. I actually loved what Hangry did when he came into our community, because he came into the community really as like almost like a fan of the space. Like he was a fan of the art, and he was a fan, and he was in Discord grinding, and he was just talking and minting and so I want to see that, like when I'm talking engagement, I want to see that engagement with like the ecosystem as a whole. Are you supporting other projects? Are you trying to like grow the space in general? And that's huge for me. Like that made me want to support him just based on, like, I thought the art was fire. I thought the like everything was great about it, but just the engagement level for me was like, that's what made me just want to mint the hell out of that project. Because he was so engaged, and it was just like, this guy's not, I don't see him going anywhere. Like it would be strange for me to see him going anywhere. And utility, of course, but that engagement, I think, is the thing that like draws me to the project the most.
I have to agree with you 100%. I mean, the projects that come to Hedera and they just stick to their own Discord, to their own environment, another red flag for me personally. But you have other projects, like you just said, they take their time, they go into other Discords, they talk to different community members, they try to become part of the community. And then you're like, okay, this guy seems like he wants to stick around. He's not just here for the H bar and goodbye. So yeah, that Angry is a perfect example. He's been here for over a year, just slowly building, slowly grinding, engaging with everybody he could. And then boom, when mint time came, his reward came naturally. Nothing was forced. So perfect example, I can.
Yeah, I agree. I agree again, 1,000%, because I'm a firm believer of, understanding the game and putting, sometimes, I'm not saying take 2 years to mint or, accomplish whatever, but I truly believe that sometimes you have to put yourself outside of time where, you have to build something organic, something, that's truthful to your core, something that, you can't take time to add layers. Hashmounds is another great example of a guy who's slaying. Koalas too, man. You guys were going ham in the chats, man. This is family right there. Punk's the same. It's about building, something that's organic. Same thing for many projects. Okay. And I wanted to bring up to, a subject, and, of course, this includes you in terms of returnals, which you brought up this package of me, my own personal opinion. I want to go there. I want to not only say great morning, great night, whatever, that's part of the whole thing, right? But just to represent, and that you brought it up. Of course, right now you leave. That's part of life too, and that's part of life cycle. That's how it is, right? You come in and then you go out, and it happens.
Absolutely, a Discord is truly a reflection of the project as well. I just hate going into a Discord. It's just good morning, good night, how are you, goodbye. You have to talk to people. You have to get to know them. You have to genuinely want to do that, because then you can become successful and authentic as well, instead of presenting yourself a certain way and then just disappearing after a while. So that organic engagement, as corny as that word sounds, and we've overused it so much, but it truly is hard to come by these days, especially if you go into a Solana chat or an ETH. You just get completely drowned out because it's just so money driven that you don't get these conversations. You don't get to know people from all over the world. Actually, while I had the Returnals Discord, I was keeping a log of where everybody was from, what they were into, so I can always reference back to it and ask them, hey, how's so-and-so? How's your work? Hey, how's the Cameroonian team doing in the World Cup? So again, you just have to have these conversations to make the project successful. Otherwise, you're just another Discord.
I agree. Absolutely agree. And now, what's next for you now? Now that you're not involved anymore, what you got planned?
Yeah, we decided it was our visions. The whole mission didn't align, so we just parted our ways. And at this particular moment, like I was telling you earlier, my family is ecstatic to have me back. I'm enjoying sitting back, being the consumer again, just being a degen, minting like a maniac, hitting that mint button, being involved in other Discords, just talking, rumbling, doing Gardic, and still, of course, going into spaces and talking to everybody. So I'm doing what I love regardless. And that hasn't changed, but the building part, it does wear you out. So any project owner, any project creator, man, I completely envy you. I really do. And I respect everybody that's out here genuinely building and grinding every single day. But at this particular moment, I don't have any particular plans. I'm just going to relax and just hang out with you guys and have the good vibes moving.
Which you're bringing every single spaces you're in, man. Shout out again.
Appreciate that.
It's true. I wanted to bring another topic, and I bring this up to because you got range, okay, in this particular field, floor price and selling out. How we talked about, of course, secondary before, and of course the heat wave and whatnot. And right now it's kind of a cold situation, for crypto. But again, people are selling out, and with huge supply. And so I wanted to know, is that a factor that's being important? Is it important to sell out? And of course, floor prices right now. What's your take on all this?
You want me to go first, or you want I can?
either way.
Go ahead, brother. You got this.
I can.
I think, if my goal is to flip a project and I'm not super interested in it, of course, it's like the floor price and sellout is going to be huge. If you have a project like Hashmons that had so much that I was reading about and the white paper was just like a fucking encyclopedia, that I was like, oh my God, I wasn't worried about it at all. Like, it was one of those things that I was like, okay, I believe in this. I love this. I'm just going to buy it and hold. So I think it depends on what I'm personally looking for in a project, because there's things that I'm not actually super ecstatic about the art. It just kind of looks like something I can kind of flip or maybe hold one or something like that and kind of see what happens. But then there's these projects that sometimes don't do as well as because maybe the marketing wasn't there or the community wasn't there in the beginning, but they have like this great potential. So I don't think that, floor price and selling out is of absolute importance. Like having this like 2-minute or 30-second like sellout time, it's not necessary, because I've seen projects really, really move after not even selling out initially, and then there was kind of this mass adoption of the project. So it mine is like, I'm kind of in the middle on that. I don't think I can give like a blanket statement of whether or not it's important or not. If my goal is to make money initially and immediately and kind of stack my bars, absolutely it's important.
Well, actually, I'm going to go in the opposite direction with that. I'm going to tell you that minting out is important. Floor price is important. I know it's a sensitive subject matter to a lot of people, and I might get some crap for this, but it definitely is. Now,
we're here for all the smoke.
30 seconds.
Yeah, we like conversations here. We're out for all the smoke, bro. They can come at us.
Well, selling out in 30 seconds or 2 days, it doesn't matter as long as you do, because to me, it's a reflection of how much work you put into. It's not enough to just have a nice art or nice utility. You do have to market the product. You have to grind. Let's go back to the Hashmons example. The professor went to the community, asked, hey, we have an upcoming mint. What should we do? What can we do to expand? What can we do to get better? And I actually talked to them a few times as well. And a lot of the community members said the same thing. Legend. Hey, come out here, talk to us in Twitter Spaces. And not a single time did he say, you know what, I'm not comfortable, because he knew you had a little language barrier that he thought he had, his accent. And he got over it. He's like, you know what, screw this, I'm coming out. So him talking to us almost on a daily basis, coming, shilling in all Discords. Yeah. And especially now in this market, to sell out at an 800 HBAR price point, I mean, it just shows you can still sell out. You can mint and be successful if you go out of your way to put the effort in. And that is the same with floor price. All right, perfect. Mint is over. What is your plan for upcoming months, weeks, even a year? If you continue, like Ekin was saying earlier, if you continue your engagement with the community, you stick around, you put your roadmap forward, you have your white paper that clearly states, hey, this is what I plan on accomplishing it, and I'm going to continue doing so, and engage with my community by keeping them up to date of what is happening in the background, with it versus just saying, we're building, don't worry, we're still around, and then you don't hear from them for a week, and then they come back, we're still around. It's just not enough, and that will be reflected in your floor price. And to give you an example that's a statistical outlier, the Rooster Cartel. Maui is an absolute beast, and he didn't mint out for a few months, but guess what? He didn't stop. He kept trying. He kept pushing forward. He kept presenting his product, and then boom, guess what? He sold out, and then what happened? FOMO kicked in. People like, oh shit, I slept on this project, damn. And then they started going to Zeus and secondary, trying to pick up a few pieces up, because they knew that this man was for real and he was here to stay. And look at him now. He's a giant in my opinion. So.
He is 100%. He's been there since even before us, man. I mean, shout out to Maui, shout out to Rooster Cartel. To me, there are two variables that come into play for sure, 100%. Okay, for sure they come in, inside a whole package, because I do believe that at one point we will have categories of NFTs, one to flip, one to hold, one for utility, one for DeFi, and etc. Okay, but there are two variables for sure that can, and underline bold, that can of course not reflect a project's health, but to me at the same time, it can fluctuate, but for sure, and we've talked about transparency and especially engagement that truly can help, floor price rise for sure, and minting out, because there's a level of trust, right? It's like what we're doing right now. Hey, are you going to show up to the meeting? Okay, yeah, okay. I'm going to put up. Hey, what do you have projected for in 2 months, in the 2 weeks, in, I don't know, say 6 months or post-mint? What's happening? Those are variables for me, at least, that I truly check. That's important. That, of course, floor price and minting out will reflect on that, but it's part of a whole package, in my opinion.
Absolutely. If you put the work in, the whole package would naturally arrive. So
yeah,
you hustle, you grind, you keep engaged, the mint out and the floor price will reflect that.
Other variable, that, again, there's a great example right now where we've always had a blast together and we've always had fun. And I do not know your face or close to the ruler since you've posted a couple of pictures on Twitter, but still, for me, I do not care for project docs or not. I couldn't care less, in a way that the level of trust to me is based on time. Are you there consistently doing the grind? Are you engaging? What's the plan? What's the game plan? Are you serious or transparent? What do you have and what do you propose? Do you engage with the people and answer the hard questions and the softer ones? In your opinion, for you, is doxing part of the process? Is it important? Yes or not?
Well, I would say SBF is doxed. So for me, it's not actually a huge deal. I think the engagement thing that the ruler was talking about, like if you're on spaces, if you're engaged and you just don't want to show your face or you don't want to reveal your real name, I don't think that's a huge deal, because I actually don't think doxing at this point prevents or protects me as kind of a consumer standpoint. Like, I don't think it actually helps protect me. I've kind of seen things in the crypto space all over the place where there's people that are doxed all over, and you're still having fuckery happen.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't factor that in hugely on whether or not I'm going to support a project or not. Doxing. That's kind of just where I stand.
No, absolutely. I have to agree with you. To me, it's also a duration. How long have you been around? What colors have you shown? Because when Perma and I started the Returnals, we were like saying to ourselves, yeah, we got to dox, we got to do all that. And then somebody said, you idiots, you've been around for so long. Don't even bother and go out of your way. We know who you are. So don't stress about posting cute pictures in your white paper or something like that. So again, it goes down to the duration and who you portrayed yourselves to be during this time in the ecosystem. So again, doxing to me is not a big issue at all, especially now with Twitter Spaces. I consider myself a good judge of character. So when you speak to me, when I hear you talk, I can sense
for sure
in your voice
what you're
about,
right away.
What you exactly what you're looking to do. So that's enough for me. I don't need you to tell me where you live and the whole KYC issue. So I'm okay.
Yeah, for sure. And even face docs, because I wanted to bring this subject because, of course, I believe koalas, with Cap and Maul, they were the very first one right before NFT NYC, right? To at least face docs. And to me, well, first and foremost, I felt, and that's truly a funky experience, because oftenly the person you vibe with the most, like say on Discord or out here, and the same goes for you guys, you feel like you already know them when you see their face. That's crazy, number one. And number two, the doxing for them, the face docs came in, and it was part of a step that either way didn't change a thing for me, because there was this level of trust, there was this time they put in, that you guys put in already. So for me, it was just a logical point where, okay, at one point we're going to see them face, but it doesn't change anything, because this level of trust, this is one more brick that you add to the entire pillar, the entire house, the entire mansion, but it's already there. So yeah.
No, absolutely. And a big shout out to Vicente and Vicisi, man. He had us all chugging and he got us all doxed, whether we like it or not.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was just cool as hell. But again, it's not a necessity, but it was done in a fun way where you didn't feel like you were forced to do it. If you want to participate, you can. And it was just interesting seeing these faces that were behind that username and PFP. And it did not diminish the experience for me at all. If anything, it just elevated it, because now I can put a face to this person when I talk to them next time. And like you just said, I am doxxed. You've seen several pictures of me, and even now video.
You're so tall.
So
You're
people
taller
know what
than
I
me,
look
bro.
like.
I'm not going to play basketball with you for sure. And we're not going to debate the GOAT here. But you're tall, man.
Oh,
you're like 2 meters
man.
high, bro.
199. 199. I'm one centimeter off. So
That's hilarious.
We've had some great comments about that early on. Hey, listen, that's about it. Thank you again for passing by. Where can we all reach you at? I know the ruler, of course, you're gonna step back and become an enthusiast and a degen. Where can we reach you at? Of course, you're on Twitter.
Absolutely, I'm in every Twitter space. I feel like I don't know how or why, but I'm there. And also, as everybody in the community knows, my DMs are always open. Whether you plan on launching a new project, whether you're looking to get a retweet, whatever it might be, any sort of advice, my DMs are always open, have been open. So I'm always here to talk and get to know everybody. So I'm not going anywhere. This is family for me. You guys are the Web3 extended family to me. So I'll be around, not going anywhere. Looking forward to what the future has in store for all of us.
Yeah.
I liked, man, truthfully. And Ekim, man, of course, down in Koalas, but so many spots at the same time, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely can reach me in Discord. The DMs are open. My Twitter's open. Yeah, I'm absolutely available. Anybody wants to reach out, and everything from like setting up wallets or whatever, whatever it is, because I'm still at the point where it's cool that we're able to kind of grow the community in an organic way, because at some point it may get so big that we're not going to be able to have these crazy discussions in Discord, because you might have this like flood of information. So I'm kind of like cherishing. Yeah, that's fucking the emojis all over the place and just crazy. So
and it just feels so empowering when we do get someone from like a cross chain to open up a hashback wallet, and they're like, "Hey man, thank you so much for your help." Like, I know it's just that's the most rewarding part for me personally. So yeah, I love it.
It is. It truly is. It's a great feeling. Like you brought someone inside the gang. Or I agree 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, thank you so much for passing by, guys. 100%. Just taking the time on a Saturday, just like that. I appreciate every one of you. I'll say that on the mic, on the show, anywhere, man. You're positive leaders. You rock, and thank you again.
And if I can just say something real quick about you, man.
Sure.
When I think of HBAR, I think of you as like you should be the logo of HBAR, because you represent what we're all about. Always positive, always in every single Discord, engaging with every single person. I don't even know how you have the time to be a mod in almost every Discord that's a quality Discord. Just your videos, getting the community to engage with each other, and now you also have some Twitter spaces you have going, brother. I can't tell you how much I personally appreciate you, and I speak for the community as well. I'm pretty confident. Thank you for all you do for us, man. We truly appreciate you.
God, you're hitting my feelings right now. Thank you, man.
I absolutely agree. I think we, when everything's said and done, we need to get like a Lehman bust and then Phil right next to Lehman on the map, like almost like the equivalent of like the U.S. Mount Rushmore, just right there with you with the microphone. Yep.
100%.
Okay. That's enough. That's enough.
If only just to embarrass him. That's all I
want. I'm down with it at the same time now. Okay, enough about me. Thank you so much.
He's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Thank you again for passing by. I'll see you down in 100 of our Discords that we share. Thank you all for passing by. The ruler, Ekim.
Thanks, Phil.
Peace.
My man. See you guys soon, brother. See you soon.
All right.
Ekim, my brother, thank you for passing by. The ruler, my brother, thank you for passing by. One of the main reasons why I started off this angle of the podcast is because, well, I had something to say for sure, but I wanted to also give the mic to somebody else to say something. And of course, I'm really young into this journey, and of course, Mints and Drops is so young. I got lots of stuff I want to do, but at the same time, I gotta understand the journey, the era, and a life cycle of a project, of ideas and whatnot. And my opinion, my very humble opinion, of course, towards the ruler, like leaving the Returnals, is that's a life cycle's idea. We all want growth. We all want what's best for us. And this is what Hedera is all about. Big shout out to, of course, to Permable of the Returnals. He's gonna hop on the show next week. That's what it is. A good handshake, and we just carry on. And big shout out to anyone who's striving to do better every single day. I wish both of them and all of y'all nothing but the best. And of course, I'll see you on the next show. Peace!